Good morning. Welcome to Friday's Early Morning Intuitive Guidance. I'm Dr. Bonnie Nussbaum, here with some words of wisdom to start your day off well and give you something to think about and talk about with others. So let us get started. Let's start with some tapping and some breath because I feel like that would be just a great place to start today. We'll start with the breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. In through the nose, out through the mouth. And pay attention to where you feel your body letting go as you breathe. In through the nose, out through the mouth. And I have some information. Good morning, Nancy. Welcome. Glad you are here. I have some information for those of you who are wondering about the comments, etc. So as soon as we get a bunch of you on here, I'll share that little nugget that I learned yesterday. But for now, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Everything moves on the breath. In through the nose, out through the mouth. And let's do a round of tapping just to center and ground and focus. So starting with the side of the hand by the baby finger. And those of you who are doing the tapping summit, good for you. Good for you. It refreshes everything we know about tapping and the benefits thereof. Inside corner of the eyebrows. And again, with those tapping videos that you're watching, outside corner of the eyes, they're probably putting words to it, and you certainly can put words to it, absolutely, under the eyes. But I've also found that just doing a round of tapping here and there can be really helpful. Under the nose, do it when you're sitting at a stoplight. Good morning, Miss Beth. Glad you are here. Under the mouth. Looks like we have 4 here. Collarbone. If StreamYard's counter is better than Facebook's counter, under the arms and around the crown of the head. So far, I'm only seeing 2 of you. So the other 2, if you're here, welcome, welcome. For those of you who watch after the fact, good morning, welcome, glad you're here. Good afternoon, good evening, whatever it will be where you are watching. Sometimes we actually have the Australia contingent on here, and for them it's evening, and for us it's morning. Good morning, Miss Jonille. Glad you're here. And there's Angie and Gwen. Good morning from Chattanooga, Tennessee. What are you doing in Chattanooga? Good morning, Barb. Glad you're here. Welcome. So now that we have most of you on here, let me explain what the skinny is on those of you not seeing things rolling, okay? In order to see who's on here and what their comments are, you must be on the same platform they are. So those of you who are on my Facebook personal page, you're only going to see the others who are on my Facebook personal page. Those of you who are on my business page are only going to see the others who are on my business page. Same for LinkedIn, YouTube, all the locations. So if you want to see the most people at this point in time, you probably need to be on my Facebook business page, the Dr. Bonnie Nussbaum Empowerment Coaching page. So got that one figured out. We'll have to see how many other of those little conundrums that are coming up with regard to using a new tool we can answer. So today we have a chapter out of Tosha Silver, and we've had this chapter in the more distant past. But again, when things pop up over and over, my belief is there's a reason why it shows up again. So let's take a breath on that. Open to receiving whatever part of this message. You're on your way to Florida. Fabulous. Will bring us back some good weather. Actually, we are supposed to get to 50 degrees today. It is February. We never have 50 degrees in February. This is bizarre, but no global warming now. So anyway, me show you one of our favorite books, Tosha Silver, Outrageous Openness. Good morning, Miss Sue. Glad to have you here. Hope vacation is lovely. We have Outrageous Openness, letting the divine take the lead, Tosha Silver. So what I'd like to do is read this chapter to you, and then we're going to do our let me think of my word, invoking divine timing and divine right order. Invoking, that word eluded me. But so For those of you who have the book and love to follow along, it's page 192 in my book. I know there's some books that are numbered a little differently than that, but it's called A World Without You. A World Without You. I think in the um, title, 50 today, 20 tomorrow. Yeah, yeah. So this is actually our second false spring. Yeah. Um, and again, we read this chapter recently, but there's reasons why it comes up over and over. Oh, and I get to test my French in here too. Ha ha ha. We'll see how that goes. So, A World Without You. Take a breath. Let it go. Ready to receive whatever part of this message is here for you. This chapter, as I love to say, has two quotes at the beginning, and chapters with two quotes at the beginning are just wonderful. First one is from Jesus of Nazareth. Be in this world, but not of it. Be in this world, but not of it. And right now is a time where heeding that advice is really, really smart. Really, really smart. All of the belches, wheezes, and coughs we are going through right now, the less we hang on to that. Hold on loosely, but don't let go. You know the song, right? The second quote is from the Bhagavad Gita. There has never been a time when you and I have not existed, nor will there be a time when we will cease to be. Therefore, play the role you're meant for right now. When someone first laid out the concept of you don't have to get it all figured out this time around, the energy in your body will go through multiple lifetimes, and therefore you don't have to learn it all right now. When you learn it, you learn it. That doesn't mean not practicing, but it means we don't have to have it all figured out. Okay. So another breath. Every yoga practice ends with Shavasana, the corpse pose. Laura, one of my teachers, always says it's the most advanced of all. Complete detachment from this world, unclenching the spirit and the mind. And when I first started doing yoga, I thought Shavasana was boring. But my yoga teacher also said this is the most important pose. If you're going to skip anything, do not skip Shavasana. So she says, the other day in her class, we all entered Shavasana as usual, lying flat on our backs, eyes closed, palms to the sky. I could hear the drone of Oakland traffic. An ambulance screeched by. Some hip hop blared for a moment and subsided. The smell of fresh rolls from the bakery below wafted up. As we drifted into deep relaxation, Laura said, imagine that you have already left this planet. Okay, so take a moment. Imagine you've died. Breathe, because you can still do that. And imagine that the world goes on without you perfectly. All is well. All is well. Tosha says, I had already experienced this during that long stretch in the 80s when I was ill. She had like 3 years where she was literally not functioning because her endocrine system had kind of collapsed. Unable to work, walk, or even think straight, I was dead to this world without being fully gone. Though I eventually healed, the experience completely altered my being. Can you see how that would be? Good morning, Mel. Glad you're here. Welcome. 3 years of not being able to function at all. Before I thought, like a true Capricorn with 4 Saturn squares, that work was my reason for existing. I can't do the French. Raison d'être. Yeah, whatever. Reason for existing. In fact, my overexertion probably spawned the whole mess. Anybody who can relate? Who hit the burnout point where you just have done way too much that's beyond the capacity of your physical being and perhaps your mental, spiritual, social being to cope with your emotional being, all of our beingness. Like, I'm done, shutting down here. Desperately needing to be liked, well regarded, and most of all, to matter, I worked day and night. But once my collapse came, I eerily saw the world continue quite well. And when I recovered in 1990, I was transformed. And interestingly, let me just say this, many of those who espouse this kind of a go with the flow way of dealing with life, Byron Katie, Tosha Silver, etc., it's because they had an experience like this, whatever that awareness was. Some people call it a breakdown. Some people, like her, it's the physical, I can't function. Some people call it burnout. Whatever you call it, that's your transformative experience, if you allow it to be. If you allow it to be. Nothing mattered as before. I love that line. Nothing mattered as before. Seeing how easily I could be replaced or forgotten had been an odd gift and revelation. Once I returned from the underworld, I couldn't believe my incredible good luck just to eat a bowl of coconut soup in a Thai cafe or walk on a windy beach. The little things matter. The wonder never went away. Can you imagine living your adult life perpetually in wonder? How awesome would that be? What a gift would that be? It is good to know both your specialness and your utter dispensability. Then you can let go and embrace it all. You can play your role in this exquisite, absurd story with complete abandon. You can be a melting snowflake, a drifting leaf, or a nature spirit dancing in a pond. And if you touch any heart with what you do, for the brief moments you are here, that is enough. Take a breath. Let it go. Good morning, Abigail. Glad you're here. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. So again, we take ourselves so seriously. We miss out on the lightheartedness that can exist in life, even when things are difficult. Even when things are difficult. So, how today will you step into this space of awe and wonder, looking at the amazing things around you, smelling them, hearing them, tasting them, touching them? If it's in human form, please ask permission. But nonetheless, really availing yourself of this day. What will you do? There's Carolyn. Good morning, dear. Glad you are here. Welcome, welcome. So let me repeat also my update, what I learned from my amazing virtual assistant, Morgan, on the Facebook questions. What will happen is whatever platform you're on, you will be able to see the people who are also on that platform. I can see the people who are on any of the platforms, whether it's YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, etc. You can only see the ones who are on the same platform as you. So if you want to see the most comments, there you go. Young grandkids help you live in wonder. Amen and hallelujah. Can't wait. Can't wait. Walking in the quiet helps me with the wonder. Yes, fabulous. Thank you for sharing your tools to be in the wonder. That is awesome. Going back, from your perspective, you can see the comments of the people who are on the same platform. I can see the comments of everybody on all the platforms. Lucky me. There's one thing I have awe and wonder about. So if you want to see the most comments, right now, you probably want to be on my Facebook business page, the Dr. Bonnie Nussbaum Empowerment Coaching page. That's where you're going to see the most comments for right now. We'll see if that changes over time. Who knows? So, but this chapter, if you have the book, page 192, I'd love to have you go back and reread this thoughtfully, slowly and thoughtfully. What is this saying to you? Hopefully what it's saying to you is that you're going to avail yourself of the most awe and wonder in this lifetime if you allow yourself to flow with what is. That doesn't mean that you don't dislike certain things or that you wish things could be different, whatever. But it means that you acknowledge on all levels of your being, this is what it is. If I'm in a circumstance that maybe isn't so great, let's say I'm in the middle of a divorce, that's never a fun thing. I will redouble my efforts to see awe and wonder. Oh, look, there's something budding here. Oh, look, there's a cute little kid with a dog. Oh, look, ooh, I smell the bakery. All the things, right? How can you be most present? Hello, Betty. Glad you are here. Welcome, welcome. So there's 11 of you on here right now. 11 of you. If you go forth into this day and you look with awe and wonder, regardless of all the other crap that's jumping off, look with awe and wonder. Like I have awe and wonder that it's actually light out right now. Because there was that chunk of time where when I was talking to y'all, it was dark. Now it's light out in the morning. How fabulous. How fabulous. So, what will you do to step into your awe and wonder? There's a good one. Cancer helped me slow down and realize that work was not everything. There is so much more to life than that. Imagine if everyone who is walking with a cancer diagnosis did what you did and what Carolyn did and what Jonille did, all those of you who've had your walk with cancer. Imagine if everyone who's currently walking with cancer had that perspective. What is this designed to teach me? What am I meant to learn here? How do I want to change my existence so that this message doesn't go to waste? What do I need to change for me? What do I need to change in my relationships with others, right? There was an amazing Chip Conley blog post yesterday. Was it yesterday or the day before? On his perception about friendships. And yes, it is very hard to do when you're in survival mode, and especially when you're going through the Western medicine process, because a lot of people aren't all that keen on doing the other things that you can do for yourself. I have someone who has just decided, forget it, I'm not doing what they're suggesting I do, because all they're not telling me to change my diet, they're not telling me to reduce stress in my life, they're not telling me to kind of do the overhaul. They're simply saying, well, there's nothing you can do. You just have to come in every month and we'll check your numbers. And when the numbers drop, we'll start you on some chemo. What kind of a message is that? What kind of a message is that? Not cool. Not cool. So she's following her own path. She's following her own guidance with what she needs to do to heal her cancer. I'm in total support of her making those choices. I'm also in total support of her finding a different physician. Yeah. Let's be a little more holistic here. So, yes, showed you what and who really matters. Yes, 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 yes. Cancer has a way of stripping away all that does not matter, right? So, paying attention to what does matter. And in order to do that today, let's do our invocation. So, repeat after me, if you will. Let's rub our hands together, get a little energy going with this baby, right? Turn the energy loose. Today, the divine will show me the way. I am open to all signs and messages. I love this next one. The perfect steps are already picked, and I am guided to them. Moving through the world, open to constant help, gets easier and easier with practice. And so it is. And so it is. Claim your space in the world. Claim your awe and wonder. Have an awesome Friday. We'll see you again tomorrow. Remember, you are capable of far more than you think you are. Have a great day. Bye-bye.